Yo, this is what we doing today. Go live, finna go live. Go live, finna go live. What's going on, everybody? Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm gonna drink my drink. So what's happening, everybody? Come on in. I'm gonna walk you around and get me a drink. What's happening? So with my drink, it helps speeds up my metabolism. What's going on? Listen, we're going to talk about forgiveness, man. We're going to talk about forgiveness today. That's what we're going to talk about. As I look for my apple cider vinegar, we're going to talk about forgiveness today, man. Forgiveness. Listen, y'all come in, because that's what we're going to talk about. I need y'all to come on in, because I know one of y'all need to learn how to forgive, man. And so I'm going to share this story. I'm going to share the story in about 2 minutes of what happened, and not only how to forgive, but just really share the story of how to forgive. Number one, when you really don't want to forgive, right? Or how to forgive. How do you forgive someone when you know doggone well they're not even sorry for what they did? Now that's rough. You know they don't even care. And you're saying, okay, how do I forgive that person? Should I forgive that person? Should I forgive that person? I'm looking for my apple cider vinegar. Should you forgive the person that actually that's not sorry, that don't really care if they offended you? How do you forgive those type of people? How do you forgive people who you know doggone well they don't care if they offended you, if they hurt you? How do you forgive them? So I was telling my daughter a story about this situation that I had. Situation that I had with this guy. And so here's why I told her the story, because she was telling me that she want to forgive, but she really don't want to forgive, right? The situation, hey, what's going on? Leland, what's going on with you, man? Eli, what's happening with you? You got it? We're going to talk about forgiveness, right? Because my daughter came to me and she was talking about this situation of how she normally don't hold grudges. But with this situation, it's hard for her to let it go. It's hard for her to forgive. So we sat down, we had a nice long conversation. And I said, I think I'm going to share this conversation with my peoples. Because we're talking about how do you forgive when there are people who honestly, they're not sorry that they offended you. They actually had an intention on pissing you off, right? Getting on your bad side. How do you really let that go? So I will share with her this story, right? I had a situation where this young man, I'd rather not say his name. What's happening? Eli? Alec? What's going on with you? So I was having a situation where this young man, honestly, what's going on? Dude, yes, sir. What's going on with you? Eli? Yes, sir. Hit that subscribe. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. So we're talking about really how to forgive, right? And so my daughter told me that this situation, she said, Daddy, I normally don't have a problem with forgiveness. You know, I don't hold grudges, but with this situation here, ooh, right? She telling me with this situation, she want to forgive, but she really don't want to forgive, right? She want to let it go, but she really, ooh, she can just go in on them when she, see these people. And so I just explained to her what happened to me about actually a few years ago. I had a situation where I flew into town to see somebody. And then when I flew into town, well, I told this person that, hey, I'm coming in town and I'm gonna hang out with you. This is why I'm coming in town. And this particular person, when I came in town, they pretty much ghosted me, right? The totally different state. So I flew in. I had a conference going on in that particular town. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go to the conference, but really, I'm only going to the conference because I know I'll be able to hang out with you. And so went over there. And when I got there, this person basically ghosted me, was out of town, didn't see me. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I can go to this conference because I'm doing a conference, but yo, I came to see you. So I'm telling her this story, right? And I was so upset with this person, like for real. Yo, thanks, Eli. Appreciate you. Listen, so I was so upset because we're talking about forgiveness, right? With this particular person, I held on, like really held on to this for months, months. Because I was like, I actually bought a plane ticket to fly into your town. I was actually coming to hang out with you and to stay with you. Now I have to find a rental car. Now I have to find a hotel. And now I'm just at the conference, but I was trying to hang, man. Oh man, you talking about somebody pissed? Woo! I was hot. And so I'm sharing with her because we're talking about forgiveness, right? And how do you forgive? Lord, please help me to forgive. And I remember praying and saying, God, help me to forgive this situation. Just help me to forgive. And she was like, I would tell her, and she was like, God, I ask God all the time, but he don't really talk to me. And I'm like, no, God talk to you. He speaks to you all the time. But it's not like he's screaming like, turn right. No. He speaks to you and he hits you right in your heart, right? So I'm up here, I'm praying, right? And I'm saying, God, help me to forgive. I don't really know what to do. And he hit me right in my spirit. Boom. Give him a call. I was like, give who a call? No, I mean, God, I want to forgive, but I ain't got to call this guy to forgive. Yo, God told me to really give this guy a call. And do you know, it took me about a week because I really, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you ask like, God, give me the answer, help me out. And he hits you and give you the answer. And you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for that right now. So it took me about a whole week to really get to that point where I gave him a call. So I finally called this gentleman and come to find out he was very, very apologetic. He didn't know that he offended me. And, he started to explain his situation and why he had to leave from out of town and things like that. And through that conversation, it really helped me to get to a point where I felt that I can forgive him, where I can talk to him and not get upset. I can think about the situation and not like really get angry. I can talk about the situation now. It's just say it happened. It's one of those things that just happened. So that's what I was explaining to her, right? Like, and she was like, well, so Dad, how do you like forgive? And so Alec, here's what I told her, because this is why I'm on here today. Here's what I told her, Alec. I told her that when there's a situation that you're going through and you don't know how to forgive, you may not even want to forgive, all you have to do is ask God to help you to forgive, right? Say, Lord, help me to forgive Bobby Joe. Just saying, for this particular situation. And then when you ask that, don't Don't sit and really assume as if you're gonna feel forgiveness in your heart instantly. Nah, man, it doesn't happen that way. You may ask God to help you forgive Bobby Joe 25 times. But every time you think of your situation, every time you think of what happened, the person, maybe you scroll on social media and you see them just living their life, doing their thing, and it just burns you up on the inside. When you feel that burn, at that time, I need you to pause and ask God to help you to forgive. Lord, help me to forgive this particular person. I don't know how to forgive them. Be honest with you. I don't really want to forgive them because they really offended me. But I know I need to forgive them. I must forgive them. So Lord, help me to forgive. And I promise you, this is the promise from your boy. I promise you, it won't happen overnight. But what will happen is that 1 month, 2 months, 3, 6 months, what you will get to a point where you see that person and it doesn't faze you. You think about the situation and it's like, that was life. It was an experience. I learned from it. It is what it is. And that's actually where you want to get to because that's where you have your peace. That's where you have, ain't that about right, baby? Isn't that what I told you?
Yeah.
You want to explain to them what I told you?
Where you stop off at?
She's going to explain to y'all what I said. Because we just had this conversation. So I was telling you about like how to forgive.
Yeah. So you said
Can y'all hear my baby telling y'all how to forgive? Go ahead, baby.
you said you have to ask God how to forgive.
I'm not gonna show it. I'm not gonna put you on. I just want them to hear you.
You have to ask God how to forgive and stuff. Like even if you don't want to forgive, you don't like forgiving, but you know that it will be good for you, so you could like forget it and stuff, and like so you don't have to worry about it, and like it won't be on your mind all the time. You have to forgive them in order to do that. So like you have to like every time you like something reminds you of that situation or like something that you just see anything, then you just ask God. Like even if it won't happen, just ask.
Keep going.
How do I forgive?
Right.
And stuff. You just like how do I forgive? Like you might like it's not you're like forgiving them. You're just asking. So like you could forgive them.
Y'all hear that?
You could see like I don't it's like you could see like you could like forgive them.
Right.
And like when you don't want to forgive them, but once you actually know how to forgive them, then you won't have a problem with forgiving.
Whoop, there it is. I hope you were you guys able to hear her? Let me know if you was able to hear her. Give me a thumbs up, give me a yes, give me something. Because what she said was there are times where you don't want to forgive. You may not know how to forgive, but you still ask God to help you to forgive. And I promise you, that's your boy. This is a promise that he will put. So I was explaining. Here's another time I had a trouble forgiving. I'm gonna be honest with you. This one was tough. This was so. You know what? This particular situation revealed to me that I actually sometimes hold a grudge. And so here's the thing. And I tried to give myself a reason. I tried to justify why it's okay for me to feel this way, right? Because look, I am a real, like a chill, happy-go-lucky type of dude. That's just me. What you see is what you get. Like I'm like, hey, right? So if someone gets on my bad side, like if someone really pushes my buttons, I promise you, I feel like they went above and beyond the Call of Duty. They tried to get on my bad side.
It was intentional.
It was all intentional. But I was letting her know that sometimes a person could offend you and really not know it or try to. Right? Sometimes people be peopling. That's really what they're doing. Yeah, they're just being themselves. And sometimes they're so consumed with their lives and what's going on with them and their, that they trample over others or they forget about, they don't even take someone else's situation. They don't consider it. So with this particular situation, this gentleman right here, he wasn't even trying to get on my bad side, but he got over there. And when he got over there, listen, I was like, oh, you over there now? You try hard to get over there. So since you over there, I'm gonna let you stay over there and I got you. So the situation, right? Where this particular guy was just rude and nonchalant. And I was like, okay. When he pushed my buttons, I promise I was at the point where I was like, oh nah. You push these buttons too many times. So since you push my buttons, when I see you, I'm gonna punch you in the throat. For real, that's how I felt. I'm like, yo, when I see you, it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on and popping. Listen, on sight. And I held that for this particular guy for 2 years. Like, that's rough. 2 years. I was like, oh, if I see this dude, it is on sight. And so I knew that I should forgive this guy, but I didn't want to. Sometimes it feels good to hold on to your anger. I'm gonna be real with you. For real, sometimes it feels like you feel justified. It gives you like a sense of purpose, like, oh, I can't wait. But it's so toxic, yo. It's toxic, man. So this particular situation, I held on to it for like 2 years. And when I finally got to the situation where I said, you know what? All right, God, I know this is wrong on my part. I didn't do anything to offend this guy, but I am hurting myself and I'm hurting you by not really forgiving him. So Lord, I'm gonna be honest with you, God. I don't even want to forgive this dude. I don't. But Lord, will you help me to forgive? And so when I asked him that, I was like, Lord, help me to forgive this guy. About 2 weeks later, I asked him again because I thought about the guy. Remember, I said, whenever you think about it or you see it or you feel it rising up, you must pause and just ask God at the time, Lord, help me to forgive this situation. And then not expect for it to happen overnight, but just ask him, Lord, help me to forgive. So it rose up in my spirit again. And I was like, ooh, I'm going, ooh, I think I'm going to put them things on him when I see him. I'm going to put them things on him. And I paused and I said, Lord, help me to forgive this situation, right, Eli? I said, help me to forgive. And at that time, it hit me in my spirit and I said, God, I want to talk to him. But I want it to be a natural interaction. I don't want to just go to his house and say, hey man, let's talk. I don't want to do that. I said, I want it to be a natural interaction. So God, can you just arrange it to where me and this guy will see each other? And, you know, just arrange it. Dude, do you know, after asking God that, saying that prayer, I promised to God, maybe I would say 10 days or 2 weeks later, as my daughter eat this apple, about 2 weeks later, I went and I bumped into this guy. And when I saw him, I had a choice. I had a choice to go and do what I said, do what I've been rehearsing in my mind for 2 years. Like when I see him, boy, it's going to be on sight. I had an option to do that because there was nothing between us but air and opportunity. That was it, baby. You know what I'm saying? Air and opportunity. So I was like, yo, should I go and lay these hands on this guy? Right? And so at that time, I asked God, I said, okay, God, you arranged it. Now you need to tell me how to handle this because I'm starting to feel some type of way. And do you know that in that moment, it hit me in my spirit because I was trying to share with my daughter, God doesn't just scream, go say hello. He doesn't do that, right? What happens 9 times out of 10, when you're asking for God to show up or whatever, it will hit you in your spirit. If it doesn't hit you in your spirit, he will speak to you through someone or speak to you through a show. He will use something to speak to you and you'll correlate that. You'll be watching TV and then all of a sudden it'll hit you. You'll see a scene where someone just said, yo, I'm sorry, I need to forgive you. And you'll see that scene and it hits you in your shanana and you'll say, man, I need to go ahead and forgive this guy. Because God uses any and everything to get to you. That's how much he loves you. So I saw this dude and I had a chance to lay hands on him or truly try to bridge that gap of forgiveness. So I said, God, talk to me. What you want me to do, man? Because I'm feeling some type of way. And God said, go over there and talk to him. This hit my spirit. He ain't whispered in my ear. It just hit my spirit because that's how God speaks to you. He speaks to you like from the inside. You'll feel like a move. You'll feel a shift. And he was like, go speak to him and just talk to him like he's a friend. And I haven't spoken to this guy in like 2 years. And I went over to him and I said, yo, man, you're looking good, man. How are you today? That's, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you looking good, bro. It's been a while. How are you? And he looked at me and he was like, hey, you know what, man, I'm doing good, man. How are you? And I'm like, yo, bro, it's been a long time, man. I'm doing good. And you know what? In that moment, I did not feel the need to rehash the conversation. You know, sometimes you can hold on to something for years and you know what? When I see them, if anything, they need to at least acknowledge they're wrong, right? Or if anything, they need to at least know how I felt when they. No, for me, I didn't feel the need for that, yo. I just felt that, you know what? In this time, God just told me to go speak to him like a friend. Because I haven't spoken to him in 2 years, so I didn't know what he was going through. I didn't know what he was experiencing. I didn't know, I didn't know anything. So I was like, yo, man, how are you, bro? And he's like, yo, I'm doing good. I said, you looking good, man. And we just sat and chopped it up it wasn't long, it was about 5 minutes. And then I went on about my way and he went his way. But when I left, I promise you, I felt such a sense of relief. I felt like, man, I've been holding on to this negative, toxic energy for 2 years, and all it took was a conversation. Like so often we hold on to all this negative stuff, and all it takes is a conversation. Like God is asking you to forgive. He's asking you to forgive that situation, to forgive that individual, and it's not about them. It's about you. Because when you don't forgive, you're holding yourself in bondage. You know what I'm saying? You're holding yourself in bondage. You don't lock yourself up and throw away the key. That's what you did. That's what you did. So I was just explaining to her, man, and I really hope this helped you, that there will be times where you need to forgive, but you don't want to. Right? There'll be times where this person's not sorry. They had an intention on doing it, and they've done, and you've forgiven them before. So this time you're like, I'm not forgiving them this time. I've already let them off the hook 10 times. Why am I gonna let them off the hook next time? No. Because letting them off the hook, forgiving them is 100% about you. It's not about them. It's not about them. Because when I left this guy, I don't know if he felt any type of way. Because honestly, I don't think he was really thinking about me or how mad I was or how upset I was. He's moved on with his life. I was the one holding on to it, feeling the fire, the fury when I think about it, all burning up inside. It was on me. That was me. It wasn't him. So I just wanted to let you know, man, that God asked you to forgive. He said you have to forgive. Forgive others. Just like he's forgiving you, forgive others. So if there's someone that you need to forgive and you don't know how to, number one, just simply ask God to help you to forgive. Help you forgive. Lord, help me to forgive this person. Help me to forgive Bobby Joe. Because I don't know, Bobby Joe really did me dirty. I felt that he did me dirty. Right? So ask God to help you to forgive. And two, don't expect it to happen overnight. Like, be patient. Just wait. Right? And number three, every time you think of the situation it comes up in your spirit and you say, what should I do? Or it makes you feel a certain type of way, or you begin to rehearse the past, I need you to pause and in that moment, ask God, help me to forgive this person. You may have to ask him 27 times in a 5-minute period. But whenever that thought comes in your mind, I need you to pause and say, God, help me to forgive this person. I don't know how to forgive, Lord. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really want to forgive because I want to lay hands on them. But I know that that's not what you have for me. So Lord, help me to forgive. Help me to forgive this person. That's what I need you to do. All right? That's what I need you to do. So my prayer is for you that God will use you to speak life into those people who you're holding hostage in your own mind. Let it go and go speak to them, because you don't really know how a conversation with them may shift their lives, may shift your life. But I promise you, God has more for you. And if you don't forgive, you're shortchanging yourself. Don't shortchange yourself. Let it go. There's so much more on the other side of that forgiveness, all right? So look, I just wanted to hit you with a quick little quick. You got something you want to tell these people, London, before we get out of here?
I have a question to ask you.
Oh, I like it. Come on.
Okay, so normally, every time, like I've realized,
It's question time. It's Q&A. So if you have a question, pop it in the chat. It's Q&A time. Go ahead, baby.
Like when you was talking, like I was thinking, like I realized every time I forgive somebody, I always have a conversation with them that ended up to be good. So that's when I forgave them, because I was like, you know what, their intentions are good. It's not that. So I was wondering, would having a conversation with them help me forgive them?
So her question was, if you haven't heard it, is would having a conversation with the person that offended her be a good thing?
Because last time I had a conversation, I tried to have a conversation numerous of times. Well, not numerous, but one time after that situation, or like two, and it didn't end up me forgiving them, because it ended off as a bad term. It ended off horrible, literally. So that made me kept the grudge, because it still offended me, because they still had that same
energy.
Yes.
Well, so
I don't know this time if they would have the same energy, or be like, oh, why are you talking to me, or like, oh, this and that, or da da da. Because if I talk to you, then I don't want to say if I talk to you then I'm gonna forgive you, but if I understand, then I will be able, or I will be able to forgive. I wouldn't have a problem of forgiving. But since I think that you still have those same intentions towards me, it's hard to forgive them.
So I always say that when you go and speak to someone, consider the result you're looking for, right? Before you speak to them. And if you're going to talk to them because you're hoping that they will say something to make you want to forgive, then I would say don't do it, because forgive.
No, I want to be like, oh, hey, how are you? How you're doing? And be like, oh, I'm doing good. How are you? That would that's something I'll forgive them on. I don't know.
Okay.
I easily forgive, but if it ends off, then.
Well, I will tell you that.
If it's bad and it ends off bad again, and it keeps on ending off bad, then yes, the grudge will be held. But I don't know.
Tell you what you do know. You Well, let me say this. You don't go to them looking for the approval to forgive, right? So you already know that you need to forgive, no matter if they're not sorry, no matter if they meant to offend you. Your responsibility and your job is to forgive, right? So I would say, talk to God and ask God to help you to forgive. And if a situation arrived where it's not a forced situation, right? Where you guys see each other and you speak, then that's cool. But don't go out your way, because if you go out your way and you're looking for them to respond in a certain way and they don't, it could potentially send you back mentally, because you're like, I went all the way over there and said something and they said this. And, oh man, they don't. Nah. Work on you, work on the forgiveness. And if God orchestrate a situation where you guys are in the same room, then yeah, I would say just go say hello. But don't go and say hello expecting them to respond in a way to make you forgive. Does that make sense?
I see.
Hey, it's Q&A time. Hit me with a Q&A.
You said don't expect to like, if you like say hello, don't expect them to have like something where like you expect for you to forgive and stuff. So how can I forgive them if they just made it even worse?
Yeah. Remember, this whole conversation is, how do you forgive when some people are not sorry? How do you forgive when they're not even thinking about you? The way you do it is to ask God to help you to forgive, right? And also talk to God and ask him, hey, if he orchestrated a situation for you guys to talk, to make it a good conversation. You see what I'm saying? But don't look for, that person should not hold the key on your forgiveness, right? Like, put yourself in a position where you want to forgive anyway, no matter what they say, because you know that forgiveness is a good thing and it's a must. So if that person's going to decide, or if that person has the ability to shift your whole mood on forgiveness, then wait and don't worry about going to talk to them right now. Right now. Because remember, just going back to my story, remember, I held a grudge for 2 months for this particular person.
Forgiving somebody don't mean that you have to be friends with them.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. But forgiving them, remember, when you see them, when the thought comes up, it really shouldn't bother you and affect you like it does.
Yeah, but
now.
what if they want to become friends with you and like they're actually begging to be your friend again?
So that's.
But it happened so many times that I forgave you so many times, but you kept on messing up.
So that's where discernment lives, right? Right. So what I mean is, you can be cool, you can be kind, but it doesn't have to be your best friend. You see what I'm saying? Like, because if they offended you the way you feel like they offended you, the relationship's not going to be the same anyway.
Yeah,
it's not going to.
Last time I forgave them and I explained how, and because they kept on begging and stuff, and I explained how I can't mentally become your friend again because this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to switch up the story and gaslight me.
Really?
Yeah.
They switched it up and gaslighted you?
Yeah.
You like these glasses?
Let me see.
Do they look too small on my head?
They don't look too small. They look big.
They look big?
It looked like acrylic nails on your eyes.
Acrylic nails on my eyes. It just feels like it's squeezing my head,
It has
yo.
a butterfly on it.
There's a butterfly on that shit. Oh, it must be young lady glasses. No wonder. I'm gonna have to send these back. Your boy can't wear butterflies. Like butterfly. All right, so basically, what I'm telling this young lady and that young lady is
What
that
you
when
told
when it
me.
when it comes to forgiveness, you simply ask God to help you to forgive. Because honestly, there are situations where you don't want to forgive and you don't know how to release it. You don't know how to let it go, but you know you should. All right. So her question is, hey, do I have to be their friend in order to forgive? Absolutely not.
What if they force you to be their friend? Well, you can't force me to be your friend.
Exactly.
But like they say something because you didn't want to be their friend and they try to like blame it on you. So
It costs absolutely nothing to be nice to people. It costs nothing to be nice. So you could be nice and not necessarily have like you already know this person offended you multiple times, so you already know you need to keep them. You have to have a certain type of distance between, but you can be nice to them. You know what I'm saying? You can have cool conversation. I'm just having a conversation with my daughter. We're talking about forgiveness and how to forgive
like, what
when.
if you're like already nice to them, but they kept on pushing your buttons to like try to be like friends and stuff?
But what does that look like? Does that mean that you have to be with me every second of the day? Or that
No,
mean
they say, okay, well, can we be friends now? Are we friends?
yeah, but saying that if you're friends, what do you guys do to prove that I'm a friend with this person, but I'm not a friend? Like, how do you
The thing
distinguish?
is, she don't act like a friend. She doesn't like a friend is somebody. Wait, let me pull up.
But no, so she doesn't act friendly, right? She's not acting caring or if considering you, right? I get it. I get it. So what I'm saying is you can be kind to her and be nice to her, but not necessarily be around her all the time. Is that possible? Yeah, you don't have to. And whenever you are around her, you don't have to be mean or rude and pushing her off. You guys are not as cool as you used to be. Trust me, that's not the last time you'll have a person who's your friend all of a sudden not be your friend anymore. That happens. You know what I'm saying? As you move through life, you'll have people who will be with you for the entire journey, and you'll have people who will be with you for a short period of time. Ain't that right, Eli? Yes, sir. Yep. You have any more questions?
Cause it's only like two people who I don't know how to forgive right now.
You don't know how to forgive them?
There's only two. Like the rest, I'm not worried about them.
Oh, it was 5:30. Lord. So ask God to help you to forgive. And when God speaks,
Like anytime I feel the need, like if I feel kind of off about something, I just say, like it don't even have to be about that situation. It could be about anything that you feel like disrespected. You could just ask God to forgive.
yeah, if you feel like you're holding a grudge, you want to ask God to forgive. If you feel like there's a situation that's getting under you and you're getting upset, you can ask God, Lord, help me to calm down. Help me to get past this. Right? And the most important thing to remember is that you may have to ask multiple times because you're just speaking it out of your mouth, right? It may not happen instantly. So you're in a situation that's
But
heated
why do I have to ask multiple times?
because it's not as if God didn't hear you. God heard you the first. God hear you even if you don't say it. He hears you because he knows your heart, right? He knows your heart. But you're saying it because it's kind of like downloading that into your subconscious. Like, it's shifting your focus. So if you're focused on this, let's say this situation around you is chaotic, and you're like, Lord, help me calm down, help me be able to manage the situation. Lord, help me to manage the situation. It's shifting your focus from the whole chaos to maybe more of peace, more of centeredness. You know, when people talk about meditation, so meditation in the Bible is when the word is mutter. So it's like taking a scripture and repeating it over and over and over and over and over. So if you get in a situation, you will say over and over, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Right? That's just a part of the scripture. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden things will just miraculously happen. But as situations pop up, you have something to fight with that overrides that chaos. So you have to say it over and over and over, even if you know that Lord is helping me. You know, the Lord is helping me. The Lord is helping me. Lord, help me. It shifts your focus.
I think I know why like people think that
We're talking about forgiveness. She had a situation where she's struggling to forgive, and honestly, she don't know if she want to forgive. All right, and so the answer to this, what I was telling her, is that when you get in a situation, you want to ask God to help you to forgive. And every time you think of that situation, when it comes up in your spirit, maybe you see that person and it burns you up. At that moment, you want to pause and ask God to help me to forgive. God, help me to let it go. All right. So you want to actually ask, and you may have to do it several times because it's not instant. The hardest, listen, I always tell people, I could tell you how to change your mind. I talk about change your mindset, change your life. I can give you 3 simple steps of how to change your mind, right? But although those steps are simple, the process of going through them is not easy because it requires consistency, right? And that's the same thing with this right here. If you're feeling a certain type of way and you're saying, Lord, please help me to forgive. And it doesn't mean that you're going to feel as if you want to forgive at that moment. Nah, you will get in another situation where you say, oh, Lord, help me to forgive. Lord, I need your help. I need your help, God. Woosah, woosah, woosah. All right. So he's talking about speaking it over and over and over. So with those 2 people that you're talking about, when that comes up in your mind, just simply ask God to help you to forgive.
I think I know why people think that things happen like so quickly. Like if you would say something, then it just like happened.
Yeah.
I'm using it.
Why do you think that is?
Because like in movies, like they would say something and then it just happens quickly. Like it just happened quickly, knowing that don't go on in the real world.
Yeah. You know, everybody want that instant gratification, man. They want it now. You know what I'm saying? They want it now. The world has moved to like this instant now. But the reality is that's not life. That's not how God moves. God is very planned and strategic. But what you have to always understand is that God cares about you, right? And he cares about how you think. He loves you, and he has your best interest in mind. So whatever you're going through, learn as you go through it. So let's take this situation here with this particular person that you're like, yo, I was nice to them and they said they begged me to be their friend again. Now we're friends again, and they did the same thing. Now you know. So now you know how to, if you haven't learned anything else, sweetheart, you learn how to manage your expectations. So when this person get out of line, you're not shocked. Oh my God, I can't believe. Oh, you already know because they done it before. You see what I'm saying? So you can manage, so you don't put yourself in that same situation because we could be cool, we could be cordial. I have a couple of guys like that if I see them now, we're cool, but we can't hang out. You know what I'm saying? We're on 2 different, because I've seen you're good, and you're not so favorable. And your not so favorable can be very dangerous to me and my lifestyle. So guess what? We cool, but we got to, you know what I'm saying? I got to keep them at a distance.
Right, and that's what I said. I said, yeah, I get what you're talking about. It's just about with my situation, like when I said something, they would change it up, and then they'll like blame you for having a limit on stuff and backing yourself away from something. And I was like, you know what? I'm not, since you doing that, I'm not gonna talk to you at all. Period.
Hmm. So when you kind of create boundaries, they kind of blame you for putting those boundaries, not doing certain things.
Yes.
So you have to be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? You have to be no, you have to be cool with them being upset because you have to always protect yourself and create boundaries around yourself. And if someone basically is like, "Oh, you're not doing this, and you're not doing that," you got to be cool with it because you've already given this person many opportunities. So you don't want to overstretch yourself.
But like the thing is, I like explaining to people what they did.
Okay, so let me ask you.
I like explaining people to what they did, and they just like block it out.
So let me ask you, when you're explaining this, because you just said you like to do it, when you're explaining this situation to people, does
I
it?
make sure it's mature. I make sure it's like reach their limit of understanding, and I make sure like they know what I did. I say what I did wrong, and then I say that I hope that you like what you did wrong, and I like it's just very mature.
It sounds like it's mature. Look at you. Look at you with these mature conversations. The problem is you probably having mature conversations with kids.
I do. I talked to my there. She said of course she said yeah you're very emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, you are.
And then it just sounds like gibberish to them because they're like their mindset is still not.
This girl is 13 years old and she's extremely emotionally intelligent. Extremely. So the problem is she's having conversations with other.
She said that like since I'm 13, there's gonna be a lot of people who aren't emotionally intelligent. So you're still gonna like.
That's what I was just about to say. She's 13, and since she's 13, she's gonna have conversations with so many kids that's not on that level. You know what I'm saying? Because I always say she's an old soul. Like she's been here before. This girl, her mind, how she see things, how she, construct things in her mind is not for a 13-year-old. So that's just a challenge that she's going to have. But it's very important to manage those expectations and know before you go, right? So you like to have these conversations with these people. How does it feel when you have the conversation and you know that it didn't land, it didn't stick?
What do you mean?
Meaning they didn't really get what you were saying.
I feel unheard.
You feel unheard. Yeah.
And that they're like I'm like through what people say, like I kind of like I know when something feels intentional and like they're actually like not getting it, and I know when people like they're like actually they know what they're doing, they're trying to not get it, they're trying to like avoid it.
Okay. All right. So look, once again, man, we're talking about forgiveness, right? So my daughter went through a situation where she's having trouble internally to forgive, and she's like, "Yo, so how do I really forgive? Because I don't really want to forgive them. I just really want to lay hands on them because they keep doing it. They've done it before, right?" And so I'm explaining to her that the process of forgiveness is a process for one. So I could tell you, hey, just do this and do that, and I can give you simple steps to forgiveness, but it's not easy because what ultimately happens is that you have to choose forgiveness and choose forgiveness often. So with her particular situation, and maybe some of you, there's situations where you may be offended and the person may not even know, they may not even care, all right, that you offended them. So what you must do is ask the Lord to help you to forgive. And I promise you, over time, the situation won't bother you. Lord, help me to forgive. And then you think about the situation again, you get upset, pause, and say, Lord, just help me to forgive this particular situation. So that's what she's going through right now. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I said, like, I know when people, like, when they're, like, actually don't, like, they, like, actually don't know what you're talking about. And I know, like, when, like, it's, like, the way they say it. like I could just tell that like they're trying to like avoid it and like just trying to say it and just trying to like push your stuff aside and just say yada yada yada.
Right.
And I know like when people they actually like don't know what you're talking about, or like they're actually trying to like get like what you're trying to say.
Well, just understand that don't be surprised when you have more situations of people not really understanding on that emotional level, right? And so when you enter the conversations with these people, manage your expectations. Understand that these people may not get it. But I'm gonna say it anyway because I just really want to say it. But don't be offended if they don't get it because they haven't matured to that level. So think about it. Let's say you're speaking to them here emotionally, but these people are here.
Yeah, because I told her like everything I said. She said, "Of course she won't. Of course they will say that. Of course, like they won't know because like you're using words that I use when I talk to people in my counseling."
You've been a therapist.
No, like how like what she said. You're using words that I would say while
Yeah. You're speaking to them with a level of maturity and understanding that they don't have. So I would just say manage that. If you want to say it, okay, say it. But if they don't get it, don't be mad at them. They haven't evolved to that level yet. They're not there yet.
So now I have to wait till they're. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I'ma just wait till like people mature when I could tell them stuff, or like when I could do certain things.
And as you're waiting, I mean, just
because
really,
they like little kids.
They're like little kids.
Like they're my age, but they're like little kids. Like they're not. They're just little kids.
Little kids.
Mindset. How you 13-year-old and have a mindset of an 8-year-old? Well, not how. I'm not judging. Oh, but it's like they're like when I say something to them, like they just like.
Well, when it comes to little boys, you're gonna find that more than anything.
That's why I'm not doing that until I'm an adult. I'm not y'all.
Cause we mature slower than girls, man. I'm for real. We mature maybe 4 or 5 years slower than y'all. So if you're 13 and you talk to a little boy, he's thinking like an 8-year-old. Yeah.
Right, because like that's why I be like, yeah, let y'all mama handle that. I'm not gonna no. I'm gonna wait till like I'm an adult so y'all can be an adult and like y'all don't grow up at all. They don't grow up at all. So I'm gonna just wait. Cause I'm like, what?
Like
I'm
what?
not about to waste my time, my precious time,
right?
Trying to be a parent that your mother should be doing.
Oh my God, you're gonna be a parent?
No, I'm not gonna be a parent.
She's not gonna waste her precious time trying to talk to these kids.
No.
Cause she's.
Hey y'all, what's the move tomorrow?
We're going to celebrate Daddy's birthday. It's his birthday on Tuesday.
You ready to get on?
My hair's a mess.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
all right, so listen, guys. It has been real. Thank you for sticking around.
Y'all, what's the move tomorrow? Spring break.
Spring break is tomorrow.
No, spring break was actually this weekend.
So they want to know what's the move.
I might go to Six Flags tomorrow.
What's the word? Dirty Bird.
Wait,
listen.
I might go to Flags tomorrow. Can I go?
Okay. So listen.
Get my stuff.
Have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day, and understand that God called you to forgive. All right. Forgive even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't want to, and even when they don't even care and they're not even sorry that they offended you. You were called to forgive. So you simply say, Lord, help me to forgive. And don't expect for it to happen, boom, like that. But as you continue, whenever you think about that situation and you try to rehash what happened, in the middle, pause. Say, Lord, help me to forgive. And trust your boy. This your boy. This your boy. Trust me, God will come through because he always does, because he cares about you. Anyway, have a blessed day, man.
Have a blessed day, guys. You
Later.
have access.
I have access.
Y'all like my outfit?
I like your outfit, baby.
But-
Go ahead.
See what I did? I put my hoodie over my shirt because it was cold.
You put your hoodie. It was kind of chilly out there. All right, look. It's been real. I didn't think I was going to be on this long, but I appreciate y'all sticking around. Have a blessed day. Peace.